So it's starting to become fall, and when temperatures consistently get below 55 degrees, we need to be thinking about bringing our house plants that may have been enjoying the outside for the summer back indoors. First though, we want to really look at our plants. We want to make sure and inspect them. We're wanting to look at if any of these leaves that might have been sunburnt. You can see these are brown, dead ends that kind of maybe got too much sun and has a little bit of stress damage. We're going to go ahead and take those off and remove them before we even bring those in. As we're inspecting our plant, we want to be looking underneath the leaves down into our containers, especially with our trailing. So we have a spider plant that's trailing. We want to be looking for any pests that might have gotten down into the soil. We want to look for any ants that might be present, any other spiders or ants. If we're seeing webbing that's going on, that would be spider mites. We're wanting to go ahead and clean them up and wash them off. If we happen to see any pests, we can go ahead and treat them with a soapy mixture of Dawn soap or insecticidal soap and water. We can rinse them off. We can even take and spray them off with a hose. We can allow this to set down in some water and let them come out if there's any ants in our container. But this one seems to be very clean. It does have a little bit of limbs that are missing. As you can see here, is missing some leaves. We have some new growth at the bottoms that can be trimmed off and repotted. But right now we're able to take it inside. When we take it inside though, we do not want to put it right next to our house plants that we currently have. We want to isolate it for at least 3 to 4 weeks just to inspect to make sure everything is free of pests before we then take it and place it next to our current houseplants that we currently have. This is a philodendron. This is a plant that we had outside. You can kind of see it's grown since we bought it and it's enjoyed the summer outside. It's actually leaning a little bit towards the sun that it was directed at. It also, as you can kind of tell, it's been outside, and so it does have a little bit of a dust film on its leaves. So before we bring it in, we're going to go ahead and look at our soil base, check and see if any pests are present inside our soil. The leaves, as you can see, when they're outside, they have a dust film that settles on them. We know that when we bring them inside, there's going to be less light than what we have outside, even in a shaded area. So we're wanting to clean these leaves off with a wet paper towel to go ahead and allow that surface area to be able to receive all the light possible from inside. So we're going to take a wet paper towel and we're going to go ahead and wipe those leaves off. All it's going to do is remove any of that dust that's accumulated on the surface of the leaves so they're able to absorb all the light in the inside the room that we're going to place them inside. Once we get it inside, we're going to go ahead and again remove it from our current plants. We're going to set it and have it isolated for 3 to 4 weeks to make sure no pests are present. And we also will want to go ahead and maybe bring and support structure to it and support it up. It can either be repotted into a larger container, or it can be brought up and put some bamboo to support those newly grown and an extensive leaves to kind of bring them upright. Now that we've brought our plants inside, we know that there's going to be reduced light for them. So that means that we need to also reduce the water intake that we give them and reduce any fertilization. We know that we have a little bit of stress damage, and that's okay. We want them to just maintain and stay dormant, and then come back and then give them fertilizer in the spring of the year where they can start that growing process throughout the summer. So this time right now is just about maintaining them, watching for pests, and then we can, in 3 to 4 weeks, we can move them to our other house plants and care for them with the group. If you do these simple tips of checking them out for pests and wiping them down, you'll be able to bring them into your house and enjoy them into next year's season.